Hey guys, Ninja
This is going to
story, and I gotta say, something happened. Believe it or not, I've actually already filmed this video, and when going to upload it, for some reason it wouldn't play the video, and it wouldn't upload, and it's so annoying because what I've done is I've also filmed quite a few of the next few parts, and I can't upload them until I redo part two. It's very, very, very frustrating that I have to redo this because, again, most of my videos go for an hour. I reach the time limit, and I don't know what to say because I have to redo this. It was a waste of an hour and I guess it's good because I can tell you guys now that I've currently done like 5 or 6 parts, and I've done 5 parts. I think there might end up being 6 or 7. Screw that joke. That's very loud. So yeah, I'm gonna have to redo and re-talk about everything that I've already talked about. I'm gonna try, be more concise or try to get through it at a bit of a quicker pace so that way, it doesn't have to go for the full hour. But let's get into it. In the last video, we went over the Royal Rumble, start of the year, and the build up to the Elimination Chamber, and we went over the Elimination Chamber qualifying matches, etc. Um, so let's get into it. Let's get straight into it. Sure. Okay, so I have 3 matches for the Elimination Chamber PLE for 2026. I know it's only 3, and you're probably thinking that's not good. You know, uh, most Elimination Chamber PLEs only have 4 matches, so it's pretty close. We starting off the PLE with the Women's Elimination Chamber match, and for the women's one, I can tell you the order of which when they start and when they come out in, etc. And but like when they come out of the pods, whatever. For the men's chamber, I've got their entrance numbers um as well as their number coming out of the pods. Actually, I just realized I do have 4 matches, but the third match is interesting, which we'll get to. So we're starting off with the female one. AJ Lee is actually in this. Um, I'll do is at random for now, so I can go over it later on. We do have, and by the way, so this Elimination Chamber match is for the Women's United States Championship because of the build up at the start of the year and the end of last year with Rhea Ripley feuding with Jade Cargill. They've kind of already booked it in as a title shot for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania because they were feuding, Jade Cargill, getting with Rhea Ripley. So what's happening here is, yeah, pretty much, there's an actual title being defended in this chamber, which is really awesome because you haven't seen that in a very long time, in a while. Uh, who else do we have? Alexa Bliss. I'll go over the orders, guys. Do not worry. I'm just trying to get through this. Alexa Bliss. Nikki Bella is one of them. Don't forget. We also have Charlotte Flair. Um, Bianca Belair, and then I can just hover over her. Um, Nikki Bella. This is why I needed to do this on 2K24. This is crazy. Anyway, this is the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Obviously, each of these women won their qualifying matches to get into this match. I can imagine this being one of the best Elimination Chambers, women chambers of all time. Like, this is the most star-studded chamber that there ever is and probably ever will be. So it is crazy, this chamber. And I love how there's different styles in here. My favorite thing about the chamber is when I think of the chamber, I think of brutality wrestling, which is like what, and you'll notice this with future Elimination Chamber matches in the next few years. I prioritize the brutality style to it. So we got the big heavy hitters. We got Nia Jax. We got Charlotte Flair. We have Bianca Belair, and then we have some technical work, with AJ Lee, and Alexa Bliss is in there, and Nikki Bella's in there as well. But the technical work is in there with AJ Lee and Nikki Bella. These women all have history of each other. I think this is just the perfect Elimination Chamber match. And you can just imagine the movesets, Nia Jax ramming people through the pods, people attacking each other on top of the pods, etc., etc., etc. And this is, yeah, again, for Bianca Belair's Women's United States Championship. And I'm going to tell you guys, Bianca retains. Bianca ends up retaining. She ends up pinning. Uh, who's the? Let me just double check. Who's the? She ends up pinning Charlotte Flair. So Bianca and Charlotte are the last two in the match. But here we go. So let me go over the quick order. So the first two starting off in the ring, once the match has started, is Nikki Bella being number one and Charlotte Flair being number two. I think that's a really great mixture of two to start the match off. So the rest of the people are in the pods. So number three, so the first person out of the pods is Bianca Belair. Then the next person out of the pods is Nia Jax. Then the next person out of the pods is Alexa Bliss. And then the final person is AJ Lee. And it's between Bianca and Charlotte, and Bianca pins Charlotte Flair. Next up is a tag team match. If I remember correctly, it's Triple Threat Tornado Tag. Is it this one? Yeah, it is. Okay, and this is for the WWE Championship belt. So remember, the heel champions are Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. And I think, like I was saying, well, I've talked about this in a couple of future parts that I've already filmed, but I also talked about this when I did this video last time, which, of course, I'm redoing, which sucks. It's really cool to have Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar be the tag team champs because it really puts the tag team division in the spotlight and in the main event, really. So they are going against Tonga Tonga and Tonga Loa, and then they're also going against Motor City Machine Gun. So I can really see this being such a I can really see this being a really cool match. It's really cool to have the tag team, like a tag team match elimination chamber. Not even that, but also just the titles being defended on Elimination Chamber PLE. This match would be hectic, would be cool, a lot of movesets, a lot of, crazy stuff happening. But Cody and Brock do retain the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Next up is a episode of Miz TV. And this over. In this video, I'm going over the Elimination Chamber PLE and some of the build up to WrestleMania. And remember, if I talk about things in part 3 where I'm like, I talked about this in part 2 and I forget to, well, now you understand why. It's because this part 2 is literally being filmed after I've done part 3, part 4, part 5. And what's happened here is, so The Miz is obviously the host, and Bayley has won. Sorry, Bayley's the current Women's WWE Champ, and Naomi's won it. And Naomi and Bayley are best friends, obviously, but Naomi's picked Bayley. And every time Bayley goes to confront Naomi about this in like a friendly way, because they're best friends or whatever, Bayley's like, "Yeah, what's going on? Why'd you pick me?" Or Bayley's just very unsettled by this because imagine your best friend wanting to fight you, and Bayley's confused as if it's, why, like, the kind of Naomi she's getting. And in this build-up, every time Bayley goes to talk to Naomi about this backstage, the press or someone else comes in and, distracts them or interferes, and, Bayley doesn't get an answer. So she's using this time. I think it's also really cool to have, episode of Miz TV, out because we haven't seen that in a while. And so with this Naomi leading up to WrestleMania, she is also got little hints of edginess or little hints of heelness here and there. And yeah, and so let me go over the script here for this one. So it starts off Miz TV. Miz goes, "Thank you everyone for tuning in to Miz TV, the #1 most watched TV show in all of wrestling. ... Miz gets cut over by Bayley. Sorry, Miz, gonna stop you right here. This isn't about you or anyone else. This is to finally talk to the Royal Rumble winner, my best friend Naomi. So it starts off with just the Miz and Bailey in the ring. Then Naomi's music will now hit. Naomi walks to the ring. So Bailey's talking now. It's so good to see you, girl. I don't know if you've realized, but I've been trying to talk to you lately, but we keep getting interrupted by the press and etc. And I wanted a moment to just be able to talk to you without interruptions. Because, backstage, there's interruptions everywhere. So Naomi, she's a bit like mysterious because, like, she's a baby face, but we don't know how much of a heel she might become or at this point in time, whatever. She's very secretive with just the way she talks. So she's like, Naomi goes, all right, talk to me. What's up? Bailey. Well, I just wanted to actually say congratulations on winning the Royal Rumble and for, choosing your sis as your opponent for WrestleMania. It's going to be so much fun being able to muck around and play fight with you. Naomi, hold up. Muck around? You think this fight is going to be a joke? I'm taking the title, girl, whether you like it or not. Because remember, guys, the way Bailey is trying to cope with this mentally is by thinking, hold up, my best friend wants to fight me. And so Bailey's mentality is thinking maybe, oh, hold on, maybe she just wants to do this as like a play fight where we're not actually like disliking each other or whatever. Bailey responds, hey, I don't want to take this fight seriously or hurt you because we're sisters. We're best friends and sisters don't fight each other. I want you to promise me right here, right now, that this match at WrestleMania won't impact our friendship. Naomi goes to respond, but then believe it or not, someone's music actually. And it's Jake Hargo. Uh, um, Bailey goes, what the hell are you doing here? And so what happens now is Jade's got this talk. Bailey's like, why are you out here with the WWE Championship? You're after Rhea Ripley and her World Heavyweight Championship, so why are you out here with us? And Jade's like, look, I'm going to win that title at WrestleMania, but I want to walk out of Mania with two titles. Plus, the WWE Championship was originally mine last year's. And Bailey's like, no. And Naomi's like, no. And Jade's like, I can do whatever I want. And I'm walking out of WrestleMania with two titles. I'm walking out of Chamber with one tonight and one at Mania. And Bailey doesn't want to look weak in front of Naomi, right? Because, Bailey's very intimidated by this Naomi picking her. And so, I kid you not, right now we get a match. Um, and this wasn't planned before. Like, there's no advertisement for this match prior to the Elimination Chamber match. Elimination Chamber PLE. We have Bailey versus Jade Cargill for the Women's WWE Championship. Bailey does retain the title in this match. However, Jade does not look weak. Jade looks very strong. And yeah, I think it's a really interesting thing to give Jade, even though I'm giving Jade a massive career change, career title range, stuff in the future years to come. This is still, even though Jade's a heel in this moment, she's still like getting her placement, but I think it's really cool making her this person that's just wants, just wants the goal, who's very selfish, etc. And very cocky, not very cocky, a little cocky, where she's like, I can have two titles. Um, but yeah, Bailey retains the title. So, yeah, it will still get, yeah. So there we go. We have a title shot there. The next match is the final one, which is the men's elimination chamber match. In this match, I have gone over, um, what have I done? I've gone over the entrance order and then also the order of people coming out of the pods. So the first person entering once the cage is Bron Breakker. So the cage falls, and then you hear Bron Breakker's sirens at the start of his music. I just can imagine that is just you just know from that it's about to get serious and it's about to go down, or it's about to get down. So we have Bron Breakker. I'll just do random for now. So Bron Breakker's the first one coming out. His music hits, the sirens are going off. You know it's about to get serious, and he's the first one going into a pod. The next entrance is CM Punk. So CM Punk is the next one he's the second entrance, and he's going into the pod. After CM Punk, we then have Jimmy Uso, so he's the third person into the ring, so he's also in the pods as well, so he's going into the pods now as well. And the final person that comes out next going into the pods is Jacob Fatu. So these are the four guys in your pods. Starting off the match, we have Gunther and Roman Reigns. I think it's Gunther, is it not? Yeah, Roman and Gunther. Wait, okay. Looking at this elimination chamber, just like the women's one, this is like probably the most stacked chamber you would probably ever see. And I've also done movesets, etc., and order of elimination, and also highlights and yeah, order of match and order of pod and you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so number one is Roman, number two is Gunther. They start off in the ring, fighting. You can two heavy hitters, two main eventers. You can imagine how it goes. The first pod to open uh, is Braun Breaker. The second pod to open is Jacob Fatu. The third pod to open is Jimmy Uso, and the fourth pod to open is CM Punk. Let's go over match highlights before I go over in terms of elimination. With this match, and I think with the women's, and I like this in general, I like all the entrants being in the match before people get eliminated, because sometimes someone will get eliminated before all six entrants are in the match. You know, obviously every now and again that can be fine, but I prefer, especially with this match, all the men to be in the match. So let's go over some of the highlights. We have Jimmy Uso doing an Uso splash to Jacob from on top of the pod. So Jimmy's on top of the pod, Jacob's next to a pod. Jimmy does an Uso splash onto the pod, onto Jacob. Gunther does an Alabama slam to Jimmy, but against the cage. So Gunther does an Alabama slam to Jimmy, but he's against the cage wall, and so Jimmy's back, and head back of his back and the back of his head scrapes against, the cage wall as he goes down. Whatever, that could be very uncomfortable. Bron Breakker spears Roman in the ring. That's a nice, because up until this point, Bron Breakker hasn't really speared Roman Reigns, I don't think, or even interacted with him really. And this is just giving Bron Breakker a really good boost in his career. Bron Breakker spears CM Punk through a pod. You can imagine that's hectic. Roman spears Bron Breakker into the cage chain wall. So Bron Breakker's like leaning against the cage wall, then Roman goes to do a spear to Bron, but Bron's right against the wall, so you can just imagine that it just Bron's head is just in pain. Roman then goes to do it a second time, but Bron moves the other way, so Roman just spears the cage wall. Um, well, when Roman spears Bron into the cage wall, I mean Bron can be like a little bit in front of the wall for to be able to step back a little bit once the impact of the spear happens. Um, the light in so this is when CM Punk is still in his cage, is still in his pod. This is actually reference to what actually happened in the 2025 Elimination Chamber. CM Punk's light kept falling off. It wasn't scripted, and CM Punk kept trying to put it back. In this, I'm going to use it as a weapon. So the light in CM Punk's... So this, I want it to intentionally happen in this, purposely happen. So the light in CM Punk's boat keeps falling down, so he uses it once he comes out as a weapon to whack Gunther and Roman with it. Braun goes to spear Gunther, but Gunther catches him mid-spear and turns it into a pop-up powerbomb. So you can imagine when Braun Breaker hits the spear to Gunther, Gunther grabs like Braun's waist, uses his strength to flip him up. So, he's around his shoulders or whatever, and then bam, down, pop up power bomb right there. Let's go. And then Jimmy, another match highlight is Jimmy super kicks Jacob into a pod. Jacob's just a beast in this match as well. But here's the order of eliminations. So we have first to get eliminated is also, obviously Jimmy Uso and Roman Reigns are working together in this match. So first eliminated is Jimmy Uso. Then it's CM Punk. Then it is Gunther. And then Bron Breakker. And it's between Roman and Jacob. But however, when Bron Breakker leaves with the door open, Seth Rollins sneaks in and hits Roman with a stomp, allowing Jacob Fatu to pick up the victory. So Jacob Fatu is the Elimination Chamber winner, and also I forgot to mention that this Chamber match is to face the Black Mask Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Obviously, Roman and Seth have a massive feud building into WrestleMania. Because if I remember, correctly, 12 years, and I talked about this, in the previous video, where, you know, Roman cost Seth the qualifying match for this chamber, so Seth cost Roman the chamber match itself. And that's the chamber, guys. I think it's a really excellent PLE, and yeah, let's get on to SmackDown now. So, I might as well just keep it as this, even though it's gonna be SmackDown. So Cody Rhodes, heel Cody Rhodes, is in the ring starting off, and this is I'm gonna be now going over a script building up to one of the feuds going into WrestleMania. So Cody Rhodes comes out, one half of the WWE Tag Team Champs, and he's going, okay. Remember, he's a heel, guys. This is the script. So, what do you guys want to talk about? Well, actually, no. I don't really care about what you guys want to talk about. For the first time in a long time, I'm here to talk about me and my tag team partner. On Saturday, Brock and I demonstrated to this company that we are the very best and that no one will get in the way of either of us. In fact, Brock and I are and from this point onwards always will be the best tag team in this company. Our in-ring chemistry is so unique and powerful that not even you idiot audience members could apprehend. I am greatness. I am the American nightmare, and Brock and I together are the nightmare beasts. And I assure you that no one stands a chance against Jimmy Uso's music now hits, cutting off Cody, and Jimmy now walks into the ring. Jimmy Uso. Jimmy. Jimmy goes now. Cody, man, what are you doing? For a while now, you've just been different. You've changed, and not in a good way, Oos. You've just lost it. Over the course of last year, you lost it. You've gone mental. It's like you're the bad guy now, Oos. Treating everyone, including the audience, poorly, man? Tell me, Cody, what happened? Cody. What happened? I'll tell you what happened, Jimmy. October 2024, I decided to team up with your cousin Roman Reigns. I didn't team up with him to help him. I teamed up so that I could get my revenge against your brother Solo. But everyone thought that I was doing it for Roman, and I lost everyone. Everyone abandoned me. I lost friends and allies in that locker room. In fact, I made many enemies. I lost my fan base. I lost everything because of your cousin, Roman Reigns. Jimmy. Dude, you still had people. You just didn't think to look. There were wrestlers in that locker room that still admired you. Heck, what about us? You still had me, Jay, Sammy. Heck, even Roman admitted that he now respected you, Oos. You had the respect and love from us, but you forgot about that, didn't you? Cody. Look, Jimmy, I admire you, and I'm impressed with how long you have made a career out of being, well, just a twin. But you and your bloodline never had my back. I was really good friends with Jay and Sammy, but they chose the bloodline over me. Jimmy. No, they chose to survive over you. We were being hunted by Solo's bloodline. We had no choice but to prioritize ourselves. I can't believe you're saying these things. And hold up, player. You said you and Brock were the best tag team ever? Pfft. You know who you're talking to. Jay and I were the longest reigning undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions. We were the best. I'm gonna keep my eyes on you, Oos. Maybe start showing people some respect. Jimmy walks off. Um, really annoying that. So I'll talk about it now. The build up with this is Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes returns to team up with Jimmy Uso because with the whole Jey Uso and Montez Ford situation, there's a backstage segment that happens between the Chamber and WrestleMania where Sammy gets injured and all the staff they don't see who injures him and they see in the background Montez Ford walking away, and so everyone thinks Sammy injured, sorry, Ford injured Sammy, And Ford is like, yo, that's not the case. That's not the case. But because Sammy's injured, Jay's busy at Mania. With Ford. Roman's busy at Mania with Seth and their feud. So Carmelo Hayes once again reunites with the Bloodline, becomes an ally, and teams up with Jimmy Uso to take on um, Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes. So leading into this, it's a really good feud. It's the main event feud. Jimmy, Cody, Brock are all WrestleMania main eventers, so they actually have the experience needed. They can do this. I'll let you know now. A couple of matches before WrestleMania, I'll go over. We have a triple threat between Dragon Lee, Xavier Woods versus Ivar, as they're all a part of tag teams that will go against each other at WrestleMania. Ivar wins that match. That's on an episode of Raw. SmackDown, we have Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez versus Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch for the women's tag team titles because they have a match at Mania in like a 4v4 situation. And Cora and Roxanne Perez do retain the tag team titles. Also, on the final SmackDown before WrestleMania, the night before WrestleMania Night 1, we actually in the main event of SmackDown, it's Jimmy Uso versus Cody Rhodes, and Jimmy Uso actually pins Cody Rhodes. I think that's an excellent way to end the SmackDown before WrestleMania. Now, so I've talked about that. Let me talk about the build up to a massive feud, and it's Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins obviously having the massive payoff to the 12-year-old feud at WrestleMania, and I've got a script in place for a few episodes of Monday Night Raw to really cement and go over this feud. So, after the Raw, the Raw, is it the Raw or the SmackDown after the Chamber? Just trying to think. I think it's just SmackDown because Roman's on SmackDown being a part of the OG bloodline. So Steph comes out on a starting SmackDown or whatever. And I got a script going, guys. Mind the language here, but this is something that's worthy of this feud. This is their match at WrestleMania, and their feud going into WrestleMania is the biggest feud and the biggest match of all of 2026. Seth, I've absolutely had it with your bullshit. Every moment of my life for the last 12 years, I've had you in the back of my mind. And I can't stand you anymore. I can't stand the fact that you've regained power after losing to Cody at WrestleMania 40. You get what you want when you want it, and it's not fair, and I'm sick of this shit. I sacrificed my soul, my blood, and everything I stood for to help Cody bring you down, and when you got back, you had a tribe waiting for you. Roman's out here now. Roman speaks. You need to let it go, Seth. This whole time you've been thinking about me? I haven't had a thought about you. Ever. I'm the tribal chief. I only worry and think about things that are actually important. Seth. No, you're the one that needs to let go. WrestleMania 40 main event. I am the reason Cody won that championship. I was his shield, his literal shield. You saw me in that vest, and you wanted revenge for 10 years before that. Your poor soul, poor mind, poor body flashed back, and you felt pain, real pain, pain that you wanted to let go. At WrestleMania, you took the bait and you put a steel chair into my back. You lost your prestigious title, and everything was over. Back then, you were just a boy. Back in Shield, you were just a boy. You had no control over yourself. You were ruthless. You had raw talent, but now you have become something of yourself. Now you have control, and you control too much. You took advantage of everyone. You manipulated those you love. You're a monster that I should have put down years ago. Your power is too much to handle. I made you a monster. I created you, and I will end you. Roman, shut up about how you made me. You've told me hundreds of times, but you know what? Yeah, you made me back then, but you didn't make me into the successful man that I am today. I built my career. I built my tribe. I became one of the most longest reigning WWE Undisputed Universal Champions to exist, and that was not because of you. Do you think you can end my legacy? You're full of shit, Seth. Seth. I will end your legacy at WrestleMania. I will end what I started and your success. This success you talk about, you got it handed to you. Your bloodline helped you with everything. All of your title defenses were a fraud. You were no champion. You were a spoilt brat who had bloodline members sacrifice themselves for you just because they feared you. That is no tribal chief. That is a coward, Roman. Coward or not, I was and will still always be the face of this company, and I apologize to my family for my actions. I've never heard you apologize in your life. And how do you think you will destroy me and my legacy, huh? Seth. Two words. Steel chair. Seth drops the mic and walks out of the ring. When Seth has reached the stage, Roman goes, "This conversation isn't over, little brother. Next time, watch your damn tone." So on a next week episode of SmackDown or whatever, Seth starts in the ring by himself. "I am sick and tired of Roman Reigns getting opportunity after opportunity when people like me have to build up everything from nothing. I lost my title back in 2024 and you didn't see me whining about it. I've earned and worked my place back into the main event scene, and facing off against him at the Rumble made me realize that I need to end things for good. I need to slash this monster up. I need to end Roman's music hits and he walks into the ring, cutting off Seth. Roman. "Will you shut up about how I get things handed to me? I have worked myself back up ever since returning at the 2024 SummerSlam main event. And what about you? After losing to CM Punk at last year's WrestleMania, you threw everything you worked for down the drain. You lost the audience and you lost your way of life. You became the bad guy, and only you can blame yourself." Seth. "I lost control because no matter how hard I try, you always stay on top." Roman. "I stay on top because after you hit me with that chair, I built a legacy worth remembering. No one will remember your legacy. In fact, what legacy?" Seth. "Look, Roman, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I failed you. I'm sorry that I turned you into a monster and that I betrayed you." Roman. "I am not your failure, because nothing of me was yours in the first place. After you betrayed me, you went to the Authority. But how did that go? You got a taste of karma when Randy replaced you in the Authority. You got betrayed by Triple H, and you had every moment to come and make it right with me, and then you what? And then you what, huh? And then you cash in your briefcase on my match? Your apology means nothing to me." Seth. "You have no idea how bad I want to beat the living hell out of you from every drop of my blood. I hate you and I want you to feel real pain. I will beat you." Roman. "Yeah, right. What are you gonna do to beat me with, huh? What are you going to beat me with?" Seth. "The tools hell provides me with." There you go. And then it's WrestleMania, guys. And yeah, they have a Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania, which is really, really cool. And yeah, everything, guys. I've managed to save 20 minutes somehow. I don't know how. I feel like I've probably missed out on things or I spoke quicker. So yeah, going into WrestleMania, there's a big main event feud with Jimmy, Cody, Carmelo, and Brock. There's Roman and Seth. There's Jade and Rhea. Um, there is Bailey and Naomi. What other feuds do we have going into WrestleMania? We have the World Tag Team Champions having a match on, representing Monday Night Raw. Due to a build up of a match. We have a triple threat with Alexa Bliss, Nikki Bella, and AJ Lee because they were all in the Women's Elimination Chamber match. They've started their feud there, so they can build from that going into WrestleMania. Plus, they feuded in the Royal Rumble, etc. The United States Championship is defended here at Mania. We have the Women's Tag Team Championships being defended. Oh, actually, sorry. There's a Women's Tag Team Championship contendership match to face Roxanne and Cora down the line for their titles because Roxanne and Cora, like I mentioned, they defended their titles literally the SmackDown before WrestleMania. So the same SmackDown that we have Jimmy versus Cody Rhodes, we have a title defense on the final SmackDown before WrestleMania. I think that's a really cool because I think the SmackDown before Mania is one of the best SmackDowns of the year usually, and I think a title defense there would be perfect. Roxanne and Cora, like I said, retain the titles, and obviously Becky and Sasha, go against the Mean Girls or some others, in WrestleMania. But because of that, the women's tag team titles are defended at WrestleMania. But like I said, the day before WrestleMania, they are defended, so it's fine. Intercontinental Championship match. I think it's really good. So I think we have a really good massive build up to this massive WrestleMania. So I think that's all, guys. I think I've gone over everything that I originally went over in the original video. The video wouldn't play no matter how hard I tried. So I couldn't even double check to see what I needed to go over. It's not that the video wouldn't just submit onto YouTube or upload to YouTube. It's also the video just wouldn't play in general. I have no idea what the hell happened. But yes, so yeah, this is part two, redone, remastered. And yeah, so I hope you guys like this video. As mentioned, this feels really weird because as of the recording of this, I've already done part three, part four, and part five. They're really exciting parts, so make sure you guys stay tuned and get ready to watch them. But yeah, this is part two, guys. This is Elimination Chamber. This is one of the biggest PLEs of the year. Like I said, the women's chamber match is absolutely stacked, and so was the men's. And then obviously the build up to Mania with the scripts, because like I said, this was a more in-depth year 2026. I've put a lot more depth and detail into storylines and stuff. Obviously, there are feuds that are happening on Raw and SmackDowns, which I'm not covering, but how it keeps coming out. Thank you guys so much for watching part two, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.